What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back. And I do appreciate the support. Guys, I'm going to talk to you guys today about mental illness, especially those of you in the Black community, where I think, honestly, we don't take mental illness serious or serious enough. We've all seen, whether we're Black or not, people walking down the street talking to themselves, doing some of the most crazy and unsavory things imaginable that normal human beings with common sense don't do. And a lot of times, whether they're homeless or not, they suffer usually from mental illness to put them in a position sometimes of being homeless and sometimes being in other precarious positions in life. I'm going to talk to you today about a story that happened May 27th out there in Detroit, Michigan, shout out, involving this guy right here. This guy right here was beloved by his family. His name was Kenneth Tompkins. Yeah, Tompkins. And this guy went over a relative's house and shot his nephew, John Tompkins, pictured here, in the head up close. They got into some type of heated exchange, but either way, things can escalate fast. A lot of times when somebody's not taking their medication or they just won't seek help. Take a look at this story, and I want you to pay close attention to what this woman who's a family member says about what people should do as far as mental illness in the Black community, as far as paying attention to it. And believe you me, I give this lady a lot of credit for the way she handled herself in this interview and how she looked directly in the camera and what she said was heartfelt. Take a look.
Tonight, a Detroit family preparing to bury two loved ones. They're speaking out, urging people to take mental health seriously. The tragedy unfolded at a home on Beaconsfield on Memorial Day. Investigators say that a man lost control and killed his teenage nephew. The gunman also died at the scene. Detroit police say this all stemmed from a mental health crisis. 7 News Detroit's Darren Cunningham is on the city's east side tonight, sharing the family's calls for change. Darren?
The Tompkins family says they did the best they could. Now they want this tragedy to be a cautionary tale for others.
It was a mental health crisis. We all have someone that's dealing with it. Maybe we know how to deal with it, or maybe we don't.
Keisha Tompkins is hoping to save a life and a family from heartache like the anguish her family is experiencing right now. Monday, May 27th, she says her cousin Kenneth Tompkins suffered a mental health breakdown.
He's been seeking help from therapy from years of mental health. He's been getting the resource and help. So this just wasn't something that occurred overnight. We knew that he had mental illness, but it has never gotten to this level.
His family says he'd been manic for about 1 week and had not slept in several days. So he went to stay with his mom just before Memorial Day, where police say he ended up shooting his nephew, John Tompkins, in the head, killing him.
He has never had a really episode because he always would take his meds. So for this to happen, he's an adult. He doesn't stay here. He's not under her care anymore. We don't know what happened up until those days.
Kenneth's family says he did not own a gun, and it's unclear how he got possession of one. During the chaos, his mom called police. When they arrived to her home on Beaconsfield and went inside, Chief James White says shots were exchanged. Officers fired 3 shots. The chief says it's unclear how many of those bullets may have made contact, but investigators say Kenneth had turned the gun on himself and pulled the trigger. His family wants to warn others to take precaution before a situation becomes violent.
Don't take mental illness lightly in the African American community. It's hard for us to trust, but we have to learn how to trust the system, and we depend on the system to help us as best as they know how. Just educate yourself. Find out, even if it's not in your family, read up on it. See what some signs are. It may be a friend that's going through something, or, a friend of a friend.
The Tompkins tell me a GoFundMe has been set up to help with loved ones' burial expenses. A link is at WXYZ.com. Detroit police tell me, per department policy, more information will be released 45 days after the incident. In Detroit, Darren Cunningham, 7 News Detroit.
Guys, that's the gist of this story, man. And I got to be honest, man. I mean, they seem like square deal people. And to have something like this befall them, a tragedy like this, is heartbreaking. And my heart does go out to the family of the victims, man. But reason why I'm doing this story is we've all seen people that are out of their mind sometimes. Sometimes people that are, unpredictable and snap. A lot of people out there that can't get or don't have the access to getting mental medication, and their mental health continues to decline. This situation is a little bit different where he was getting treatment. And just like the lady said, she said, hey, he's a grown man. They can't be around him all the time and know if he's taking his medication or not. They said he was manic for a week. So I guess he was in some type of manic depressant state. Said he was without sleep for days leading up to taking John Tompkins, his nephew's life. See, I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of us don't know about mental illness because we don't have family members, but a lot of you guys do. And in the comment section, when I do videos about mental health, a lot of you guys say stuff, about things you're dealing with and how you have to overcome certain things that a lot of us can't even fathom. And I don't know what makes somebody stop taking their medication or makes them get to the point where, well, I guess it's depression. They said he was manic. But I mean, all in all, man, he shot his cousin in the head up close over disagreement. Or it might not even have been a disagreement because, you watch TV and you see people have psychotic fits a lot of times. It seems like the more you try to calm them down, the more aggravated they get. And a lot of times they're spitting off a lot of gibberish that it has nothing to do with anything. And then all of a sudden, certain people become an enemy. I wonder if that was the case with this. Because it seems like John Tompkins is a younger guy. He might have came in, hey, what's up, Unc? You know what I'm saying? And it might have set him off. But either way, man, this is a tragedy. Not one body do they have to mourn over, but two, and worry about burying them. Okay, he said this happened March 27th. And like I said, I give that woman respect, man. She got on here. She didn't fall out. She didn't act a fool. She was mature about it, and she spoke and addressed the situation head on. A lot of us need to pay attention, especially in the Black community. We throw that word crazy around all the time. I, for one, do that as well. Something happened, I'll say, oh man, such and such is crazy. Man, that dude crazy. That's like part of our vocabulary. But a lot of times these people really are crazy. And you need to look out for certain signs that show that people need help. But then again, the lady said, you got to trust the system. A lot of people don't have trust in certain things, or they just feel as though ain't nothing wrong with it. You need to trust the advice of those that are close around you, that love you and care and want you to be here and tell you, hey, you need to go get checked out. Something's not right with you. And we only saying it because we care, not because we trying to make fun of you. This is an unfortunate event, man. Whole street filled up with police. Neighbors outside, nosy as hell sometimes. What happened? Now, in addition to the sorrow and stress, you got a bunch of people, news people coming and all this type of stuff, and you wish it wasn't your house, but sadly it was. I'm more than sure, the family members in their time of mourning are going over scenarios in their head of how they could have been better to make sure that Kenneth and John, the nephew, will still be here. And that's one of the things. It's easy to get on YouTube and talk about stories and stuff like this, but you have to have an empathetic mindset sometimes. And it's situational depending on the story. This is a lot of grief, and it's much more than just two people gone. It's like a lot of times people feel as though they failed in some way, shape, or form, and they could have been better to make this person better. But a lot of time that guilt that a lot of people have, in reality, a lot of times it's nothing you could have done. And that's the part that's sad. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Mental illness is something not to be played with. We're seeing it now. Like, people are doing some of the craziest stuff to other people they don't even know. And sometimes, like in this case, some they do. We need to take this serious all the way around the board, because you never know when somebody's going to snap and lose it. And you could be the next victim. I'm just saying. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.